everyone, back to another Sunday, and this week I'm going to be sharing with you the blended seasons. So if you haven't already checked it out, myself and the Artisan team have done a blog hop. Hey Kim! The Artisan did an additional blog hop going out, went live on Thursday, just gone. So there is loads of inspiration for this set on there and some beautiful, beautiful makes from the team. So if you haven't seen it already, it's this set here. It's 2 stamp sets and coordinating dies. It's pre-orderable, exclusive to demos. In July, so if you want to get your hands on it sooner rather than later, then you can join my team or ask me for more details, and we can have a chat, or it goes live to customers on the 1st of August. So it's going to be an exclusive bundle that's available for a month only in August to customers. Fran, how are you? Got Liz and Kelly. Hey everyone, I just thought I'd show you. So I've only got one of the cards that's gone onto the blog hop because I wrote the card and I actually gave it away. So it went as a birthday card. Hello from the beach. Oh, that sounds perfect, Liz. This is down by the beach. So this is the easel card. So these are an oldie but a goodie. So I used the die to make a base for the card, and then the card front, can we see that, is adhered on. And then that just stands up on that pretty flower. And then that's been coloured using the watercolour pencils on the crumb cake card. So yeah, it's quite a small, it's good to, sort of compared to a normal size card. That's a normal size card. It's a bit smaller, but it's just a bit different for a different kind of look. And then the card I'm going to share with you tonight is one that I did at class. So if any of my lovely ladies are on, you'll have either made or seen this already perhaps, and it's this card here. And I know we're in the midst of a very hot summer here, but I thought I'd share these autumn leaves and how that's been coloured. So we kind of focused on different colouring techniques, and this one was embossed with the paints, which you'll see when I make it in a minute. And we did one with blends and one with the watercolour pencils. So I'll see how I go for time, and if I manage to kind of get through this one, then I might kind of show you the flower as well and some different bits with that, but I haven't got another card made up as such. So let me flip you around and we'll start making. There we go. So I should really have set myself up in the garden. I'm not sure the Wi-Fi would have held out, but it would have been cooler. I think we've got decent enough lighting. The light right above my head, the spotlight, has bulbs gone, and I didn't have time to change again. I think it only happened a little while ago, but it's gone out again. So we're in need of changing that over. But I only kind of noticed about an hour before I was due to go live, so I didn't kind of rush to do anything about it. I need to do something in the week. Okay, so this set has things for all seasons, hence the blended season name. So you've got summer flowers, you've got kind of the wheat and the leaves and the autumnal leaves, and then you've got a bit of Christmas as well. Oh, crafting with the feet in the paddling pool, that sounds perfect, Liz. Have them just dangling over the edge. Have some sort of floating craft table, couldn't we? Craft in the pool. Not sure how the technology would work. Right, we're going to use Versamark and then just stamp this out a few times. So, evening everyone everyone joining. Oh, Lisa, you are going to love it. Is your order due out tomorrow? I'm going to be stalking the UPS man. Right, I'm going to emboss as I go so I can see where I am putting the powder, or the stamping I should say. So I will first mark again, kind of go across there. Liz is like, yes, like the kind of the pool bar, exactly. We could have like a crafting bar. Cocktails, crafting, floating in the pool. Sounds perfect. So nearly there. So it takes 3 to get across the card, just to kind of fill in those edges. Just need to be really careful not to knock that, because the powder obviously hasn't set. So until you've put the heat gun on it, it's still able to be knocked. So, oh, there we go. So I think we're there. So that's the embossing bit done. So we're just going to heat that up. Watch the magic go. Because I haven't been using my heat. Oh, but it should be. There we go. Just like to see that. Return. Beat my fingers. I should have picked something other than heat embossing in this weather actually. The heat gun's not helpful. I would not want to be mass embossing in this heat. Right. There we go. So now we've got the embossing done. Put some more light on it. Is that better? I think it probably is. I will lower that down slightly. There you go. So the colours that I've chosen for this, I'm going to stick to the same colours because I think they worked really well, was razzleberry, crushed curry, cherry cobbler and Cajun craze. And I've just popped open the ink pads, and if you haven't got enough ink in there you can put a bit of refill, or you can just squeeze the lid. So that's the crushed curry. Right. Cajun craze. Cherry cobbler. See, that one's not quite so much ink, so we'll just give that a little bit of a squeeze. And then the rich raspberry, which at class I kept saying blackberry bliss, and everyone's like, where's the blackberry bliss on the table? I'm like, no, I meant the raspberry. I know what I meant. Right. Aqua painter. Just trying to find one with water in it, which is helpful. Okay. So to kind of get the different colours, I've just picked and sort of chosen as I've gone along which ones are going to be with what. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of yellow, which is the crushed curry. And while there's still some colour and like wetness on that, then just add sort of touches of the other colour. And then again, you can just kind of move along. And put a bit more in that if you want to. So just, so got a bit of yellow underneath, and then I'm just cleaning that off the water. And then we'll do one maybe more red. Obviously the more water you put in, the lighter the colour, and then you can just build it up. That is kind of the beauty with the watercolouring. And even if you want it lighter than that, you can just dab it and and then you can add more. The shimmery white would look really pretty with this, the cardstock being shimmery white, but I'm going to be stalking the UPS man tomorrow as well, and he should be coming with more shimmery white because I am out. Right, I'm going to also add a little bit of Blackberry Bliss. You can just really play around with the colours, and because it's all kind of random, with the colours you really can't go wrong. Right, there's red on that, and the purple, and then just a bit of red, and so you go along. It's not Blackberry Bliss, it's definitely Rich Razzleberry. I kept saying it's on Blackberry Bliss. Blackberry Bliss would be nice. We could do a darker, you could do darker Blackberry Bliss, but no, it wasn't. It's definitely Razzleberry. Right. And I'm not being fussy either about leaving some of the white edges. I think it's quite pretty. It doesn't need to be completely filled in. And so you go along. Do some with occasion. And then, and you could obviously pick and choose as you kind of go. And then I might put some more yellow at that end just to balance it out. I've got to come right off the paper, but you get the idea. But the gold, I think the copper would look lovely with this as well. I think kind of the coppers and the gold with these tones. Just have to play around with it. There you go. And then some more yellow one. While that dries, I've then got a scrap bit of watercolour, and I'm going to stamp in Stays On with this set here, and this is from the tin, the really gorgeous navy and gold tin. So there's this stamp set and there's a matching punch which I'm going to use as well. So the reason I'm using the Stays On is because I don't want the ink to shift with the water. If you've got archival, that'll work as well. And then, just to be different, I'm going to take the yellow, so just going to give that a wash. So not being precise with that at all. And that I'm going to punch out. So this is the punch that coordinates with this stamp set. So that will punch out each of those sentiments. So it's got that shape. But handy for, make that a bit lower down. There we go. And then I've got a bit of gold with the larger label punch. You could equally, so I've done it with this shape, which is how I've got the kind of the rounded edge here, and that is actually split top and bottom, or you could feed it back through the punch, or you could do the old trick of chopping that. So you could just chop that, and that will then create you like a little top and bottom to your sentiment. What it doesn't do, because it's the same width as that punch, obviously you would need to do 4 of them to come sort of that way round. It doesn't give you the sides, so that's why I've used this punch. So that out and then glued on. Oh, it's not the glue I was using earlier. There we go. So just glue that on and it kind of fits perfectly to that. And then here comes the fiddly bit. I should have to choose to do this on camera. Right, I'm going to feed this back inside to the punch. So we're going to go through the side. Oh, it's just a little bit fiddly. Lay it. Let's try this way. Let's go all the way in. There we go. It's a little bit fiddly, but you can get there. Once that's through, then you can line up the same amount of border. There you go. So you lose that bit, but you end up with a really nice border to that. So that's those bits. And then what else have I got? Oh, I ordered this. I was very lucky when we went on stage in April, and we got a few freebie bits and pieces, and there was this black not sure even what it is. It's not even a twine, is it? What does it call it on the ribbon? Cord, they call it. But I thought, oh, that'd be good for like handbags or like bag, you know, bag handles or like 3D boxes or something. But I didn't quite realise at the time that they do a gold one. And I thought, oh, that's going to be really nice for Christmas and tags and bits and pieces. I'm just going to move that up a little bit. So not quite so close. Just because it is quite warm, I'm going to close these up. Also, it's always the dark colours, isn't it, that you end up putting your hand in. It's never the So Saffron or the Sahara Sand. It's always the Blackberry Bliss or the Real Red. Right, with this one, I'm just going to swoosh the cord. So it's not going to be tied. It's just going to be wrapped over. And we want a sort of a tail. So that's long enough. And then I've got the leaves. So the dies that come with this bundle are these stitch framelets. So they've got stitching on the outer edge and stitching on the inner edge and the cut line in between. So what that does is leaves you, where's my card gone? So you get one stitch line here, but you then get the other stitch line on the bit that you've cut out. So it gives you the stitch line on the card that's left behind as well. So that's lovely. So I've got those. Then there's like a little die that cuts out the bell. There's a leaf. It doesn't cut out a leaf, but it cuts those leaves out. So you get a separate leaf. And then you get a little bow. So Christmas or birthday. I think it's kind of a Christmas wreathy kind of bow, but and then you get this pretty flower. And like leaf swooshes. And these leaves, and they don't cut anything out on the set, they're just extras. And then you've got these like swirls, and you've got two the same, I think. Yeah, so if you were doing lots of those bits, you've got those as well. So that's where the leaves have come from. And then we've got the, as I go rummaging, these ones. These are brushed copper and brushed, I'm just going to say brushed silver and copper, something like that. But you get quite a lot of those. You get 70, oh no, I was going to say, oh, that would be a big pack. 24 pieces of those, but plenty for cards. So I'm going to use that one and some double-sided tape. I'm hoping you guys are all still there, because I kind of am peeping over for comments. I can't. There we go. Just done that on a diagonal just to give enough of a hold on the ribbon or cord. So that's going to go just like that, so we don't need to tie any bows or knots. There we go. And maybe another bit of tape over the top just to hold it. And I will peel that off because that will be what I can stick the leaves onto. And we'll just tuck them. No, I won't. I'll change my mind. I'm going to use a glue dot. Okay. So I'm just going to assemble all this and then pop it all on the card in a oneer. And another leaf. Just kind of tuck that going at a different angle. And then we've got that one. I might pop that down. So on this card, I've got it up the top there, but I might just pop it down this side for a change. Let's angle that up. So, a couple of bits of tape. Just to hold some of the cord and stuff. I'm also going to stick some dimensionals on just to raise it up a bit. So I'll just kind of hold. We'll just put plenty of layers on. We'll just to make sure it definitely sticks. There we go. I want that tucked. It will go up there. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Kathleen says very pretty. I have to say it was one of my favourites from the class. Just from the sort of dropping of the watercolours, I really enjoy doing that anyway. So, and then we've got the leaf. So I'll put that on the back, and maybe tuck that this side. Okay. So just a little extra one popping out of there. And then I think the other card I did have some kind of gold and Cajun extra stripes, but I'm just going to go with it as is, and I'm going to put it on maybe like crushed curry, just for a different look. We've got quite a lot of yellow on this one, so I'll just bring that out. There we go. Just with the yellow at the edges, it's quite nice for a different look. Glue on there. And we are nearly done, because we know what's missing, don't we? We just need a little bit extra sparkle. So, oh, hello. You come to say hello. Molly's being very vocal. Hello. Yeah. You've had your tea. She's obviously just like realised there's crafting going on. She does like her crafting. She likes to come and get involved. Right. Let's stick some of these. So I find with the for those that have watched my lives before, with these I tend to put a bit of glue on the card where I want them, and then drop the sparkles onto the, there we go. This is it's a little stick thing I've got. If you haven't, these are like little blue tack bits, basically. If you haven't got one of these, and again, I've always said this, you can add a little bit of blue tack to the end of your pokey tool, and then that becomes a picker-upper, so which is very handy. So you can use either or. There we go. And we are done. So, oh, if only I could have like sound effects. Let's, oh, ta-da! That is one of the cards. I thought I might show you. So, I'll stamp out the flower. I'm not going to make, I'm saying this, I'm sure I'm not going, no, I'm not going to. I'm not going to make full cards up, but I will just stamp out the other images so that you can see. This flower is a nice big one and lovely for colouring. So if I stamp out in Memento, because my new blends have arrived, I am so excited. I've been impatiently waiting. So I knew the blends were available when we went on stage in April, and I have been waiting and waiting. And yeah, so my order arrived with the blends just the other day. So, oh, what have I done with that? I've blobbed it. Let's use the other side. In fact, let me just use this piece because I don't quite know what I did with that. Let's go again. Busy chatting, I think. There we go. So that's in the Memento, and then I will also do one in Stays on watercolour. So let's put this down there. Kathleen, your wish is my command. Kathleen says, I need a tutorial on the blends and the flowers. Here goes. I am no professional colourer. I just really enjoy it. So this isn't the right way or the only way to colour. It's the way I colour, and I'm happy to share. So let me pop that one to one side. That is Stays On, and this is Memento. So Memento with blends and Stays On with water. So this is water based and these are alcohol based, so that they don't they're opposite, and this is permanent and this is water. If you put the water and the water together, this water makes those lines run. If you put the alcohol with the alcohol, this makes those lines smudge. So if you just think opposites, water-based ink with the blends or Memento with the blends, water with the Stays On, you're set to go. So blends and Memento on Whisper white paper. Let me bring you in a bit closer. Okay, so let's do colours. Let's do some colours. I'll do a yellowy orange one, just because I did that at class the other day. So we've got New Pineapple Punch, which is like a bright yellow. All the blends come in singles, or you can buy them together as a dark and a light. You don't have to have both. You can mix, say, a darker and a lighter Daffodil Delight with the light Pineapple Punch. It's your choice. I just like the fact I've got the kind of collection. Catherine, do I see a big difference between the blends versus watercolour? Yes. Watercolour is quite loose and is not kind of as precise, I suppose. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe not as precise, but I'll show you. Let's see. Let's zoom in. So I'm just going to put, there's a thick tip and a thin tip. So I'm just going to put some light yellow onto your flower. And there's no lines, there's no like where you get with like felt tips, there's no kind of felt tip line. And then I'm going to add, so where I'm going to start to add colour, I prefer to use the, like what I call the bullet tip, and I will add in some darker yellow. So you could have it just like so, and then if you wanted to kind of blend that out again, I just use the thinner tip and I just circle to pull that out. So that then gives you that. If you then want to add your darker, you could go darker again. So this is the dark daffodil, and that will really add in. I'm just following the lines of the flower, but that you can see obviously the lines there. I will then pick up the lighter yellow, or the lightest yellow that I've got, which is the light pineapple, or you could use the light daffodil delight, and just circle that to blend it into the other colour. Kind of almost melts it away. But can you then see the difference between this one and this, where you've still got the lines? So you can go back and forth. You're pulling that colour into the lighter colour, and just circle that out. And you can really play around with those colours. So if you want to, you can sort of mix and match a little bit. So again, you can, if we do a different coloured flower, if we do, so this one is light daffodil delight, just because I know I'm going to end up going darker. So that's going to go on those petals. I prefer the bullet end for blending because these brush tips are much softer. So if you use them and circle, 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 circle and blend out the colour, you're going to essentially ruin your tip quicker. Whereas this is very firm and will allow you to really circle that colour. It's much firmer tip. Whereas this tip has got more bend in it. And you'll end up, yeah. And then it is personal preference, but you will get I think you get a better blend with the smaller tip. So that is light pumpkin pie. Let's just grab the dark one. So this is dark pumpkin pie. I'm going to add some dark orange as well, just really into that. So again, I will always kind of work on one flower as well before I move on to the next, just because although the ink has dried, it dries even more if you leave it, so it'll be harder to spread. So if you work on like 10 flowers and go back to the first one, it'll then be harder to move the colour around, whereas this has still got movement in it, or I think anyway. So that then blends that out. Hi Fiona! And you can go back and forth, so you can pull. You can really kind of pull that, just go just back and forth over that. or you could circle. You're just going to want to work the colour a little bit. If you only just kind of just go over it, it doesn't blend it. Whereas if you move that, and you can always add a bit more dark yellow. Dark. And then blend that in. Very therapeutic. I'm just going to get the... I've got Australia here now. Morning, morning. A bit of a squeak going on with these pens. I was saying to the ladies, because obviously we did the blends, the pencil, the colouring with the pencils and the watercolouring. They're just different. There is no, this is better than that or that's better than it. They are just different. I like the way the blends look. I think it gives a really smooth look to your colouring. But with this one, it's just a different look, and you wouldn't achieve that look with those pens. You'd get a different look. So it just depends what look you want from your card. My favourite green, Granny Apple Green. So I was absolutely delighted because I do love my Old Olive, but the blends previously, we've got an Old Olive in our blends, and they are nice. We've got it's a nice Christmassy green, so you've got Old Olive, and that blends into light Old Olive. And again, so you've got that. But Granny Apple Green and light Granny Apple Green. You've got that. It's much brighter, so both nice, but just gives you another green. And there is also been a bit spoilt for choice with the greens. I think we've got the Call Me Clover as well. I haven't played with this yet, so here we go. That's the dark Call Me Clover. That's nice. And I've got the light Call Me Clover. Okay, it's a different green again. But we're going with this one just for the brighter leaves. So I have pop them out of the way. So, oh, Donna, when it arrives, you are going to love it. This set is it's just if you love colouring, it's the perfect set for colouring. There we go. I'm just going to colour. So the other way, I'm just going to colour that all in the light green, actually. Some people say put the dark down first and then add the light. Some people do the light and then add the dark again. This is that. Yeah, it is. It's a nice green. That it's there we go. It's like a real gemmy sort of colour. There you go. And you don't need to be neat with those. Adding the Hazel, you're here. Hello. We've just been colouring. So, and then just blend that out. So you can really play around, and if you wanted to, which I've done, what card did I do it on? Oh, I don't know. You could Where's the pencils? So this is one of the new pencils that are out with the set. Is once you've blended, you could add a bit of pencil if you wanted some pencil line over the top, but you know, you can play around. So that's those. Let's do a pink flower. Oh my goodness, they have brought out lovely lipstick. Check these out. Dark and light lovely lipstick. Liz, you are gonna love these. This is a Melon Mambo fan. I have to say this. I'm gonna add a little bit of dark. I've done this slightly different. I've added the dark first. And then I'm adding the light. So you can do it slightly. Does anyone else lose the power of speech? I'm not doing too badly, I'm sure. If I was to watch the replay, I'm sure I'm yabbering away. The concentration when you're colouring. The pink is so pretty. There we go. I was a little bit confused when I first coloured these images as to kind of what these bits were behind, but then I kind of realised that, can you see that this flower, maybe everyone saw it except me, but do you see that that flower is then like that sort of trumpet sort of shape? So I think that is like a green that the flower is coming out of, and the same for this bit here. Maybe that was obvious to absolutely everybody except me, but there we go. Maggie says I want to order some more pens. Liz, I love your encouragement. Just get them all. Just buy them all. Problem solved then, isn't it? Right, middle of the flowers I will do in don't know, what do we think? A brownie colour maybe, or are they more orange? I don't know. That's ivory, in case anyone's wondering, which was a colour that was there before. That looks okay. Let's quickly colour these. So let's just pop. So I think I kind of say as well, like these longer brush tips are good for big spaces. So if you want to colour a lot quite quickly. It's just softer. I would treat it more like a paintbrush and just very gentle with those tips, whereas the bullet tips are much more kind of hard wearing. So just light touch with those ends. There we go. There we go. Go Maggie, go Maggie. They are just beautiful for colouring. There you go. So you can add in, and then you can play. You know, if you've got the old olive, you could add a bit of dark green on that. There's no rules as to what has to go with what. I'm sure they will all kind of blend together beautifully. That's the dark green, and then this is the light one. So you can kind of just go back over that. There you go. Blend that out. Blend it out, blend it out, blend it out. There you go. So there you have it. And if you wanted to, you could add on, you know, just look, you could just, what's this one that I've picked up? Dark, what's that? Dark raspberry. You could add a bit of purple. They just all go together. More of a reason just to have them all. When you can't decide, just have them all, and they will blend. Sorry to anyone who's I've lost in the process of just colouring flowers. Okay, I've sent you to sleep, I apologise. There we go, so beautiful as is. The other thing you can do is you could put like a light colour around the edge. So it just adds a bit of a shadow. I would say that one. What else? Light Pool Party. Yeah, maybe that's it. So you've got these really nice light colours. So you've got light Pineapple Punch, light Petal Pink, and light Mint Macaron. Oh, that's nice. So let's do that one. As I say, looks nice as is, but if you just take this brush tip and just sort of sweep it around the outside edge. You don't need to be neat with this. And just turn in the card as well as you go. It just, and in that gap there. Watching the blends dry, I know, it's lovely. There we go. And if you were travelling as well, you could take your blends in a pencil case, stamp yourself out a load of images, and then you could have these to colour rather than a colouring book, and then when you come back, or you could chop them all out and then you've got them to put onto the cards. Hi Jenny! So that's the light mint macaron, and there you go. And then if I show you the watercolour pencils, so versus the blends and the watercolour pencils. The watercolour pencils, we've got a set already, and we've now, in July with the offer, you've got 10 new ones, which include Night of... someone maybe want to help me out. Balmy Blue, definitely. Night of Navy. Coastal Cabana. Flirty Flamingo is a new one. So Flirty Flamingo definitely, and Melon Mambo was one that we had before. So they really go well together as well. So if you have got the other ones and you think, do I need these other ones? Yes, you do. So you get the pencil colouring, and then you can add, that's the Melon Mambo, or where you've just done light colouring, you can just really push down and get a darker shade of the same colour and just blend that out. The other thing that the watercolour pencils do beautifully is just melt with the water, which is what they're kind of designed to do. So this is the Coastal Cabana. You can just pop a bit of colour there, and then grab your aqua paint bar that's all covered in yellow and Cajun Craze autumn colours. So I'm just going to get a new one or a different one. I'm quite fortunate. I've got quite a few aqua painters because I have them for classes, but they're never filled up with water when they need to be. There we go. Job for this evening. Fill the brushes up. Right, there we go. And can you see that that just melts that away? So that, once that's dry, which I will quickly juice with the heat gun. There we go. You can then add more colour on. So you could either leave it like that for a look of kind of shading, or again you could just add colour that way and just get rid of the harsh lines. So there's different ways to play around with those. And the lovely colour that is in these is the Balmy Blue. So again, if you put, and you want that shading look, Lisa says lovely shade. I often put the shading behind that card like this, but just because it does pop. But sometimes I think I'm probably a little bit addicted to it and I can't make one without it. But if you've got that colour there, so that's the Balmy Blue pencil. You can then just take that, and that'll give you a lovely soft edge as well. So you can really just work that out onto your paper. Oh. So you'll get like a light blue sort of shaded edge, and you could do that with any of the colouring pencils. You could do that with a grey or a pink or anything really. So there you go. And the pencils are obviously I think they're $11.75 for 10, so they're really good value for money, and perfect to kind of carry out and about with you as well. So that's the crushed curry, which again you can either leave as a pencil line or just give a little touch with those. There you go. My watercolour paper, I've got watercolour paper and shimmery white on order. I didn't have any to show you. It is slightly off from the Whisper White, but so is the shimmery white. Actually, I do have a piece actually somewhere. Where is it? No, I can't find any. But no, the shimmery white is not quite white either. It's kind of got a no, that's all scraps. I've got scraps of vanilla and scraps of here we go. Found some. There you go. That's the shimmery white, and that's the Whisper White. But I think the vanilla, just to show you the vanilla compared to it actually. That's your vanilla. So vanilla, shimmery white, Whisper White. What I find is if I do something shimmery white, I love the shimmery white for watercolouring because, again, my lighting's pretty rubbish tonight, sorry. But if I've done something like this on shimmery white, I will then stamp flowers to pop up, and the other things that I do on the card will also be in this, unless you want the pop of white. But that works really well for the watercolour pencils as well. So that's the balmy blue. That's the watercolour pencils are available to demos, so in the month of July. So if you can't wait until the 1st of August, then you can join in July, and they will be able to be added into your starter kit, and that goes for the blended season bundle as well. So Flirty Flamingo. So where are we? That's the balmy blue. Night of Navy, Crushed Curry, Coastal Cabana, Flirty Flamingo, Granny Apple Green, and Cherry Cobblers in the new ones as well, so great for Christmas. Granny Apple Green, Cherry Cobbler, Soft Suede, Cajun Craze, Soft Suede, maybe. Oh, Gorgeous Grape, nearly forgot Gorgeous Grape. There you go. So that's the Cherry Cobbler. Oh, I'm running out of water, I think. Cajun Craze, Gorgeous Grape. That's the Granny Apple Green. And then it is I don't know where I've got all the, I've had my pencils out and I don't know where I've put them all. I'm sure, I can't think what the missing one is. It's I'm sure it's soft something. Anyway, there's another one. But there you go. Right, I'm going to flip the camera back round. So, let me yabbering on. There you go, just some different colouring techniques for you. Where's my So I will pop that one up on my blog. It is already on my Facebook page, and I will do something with these pretty flowers. But I hope you kind of enjoyed seeing the colouring and the blending tonight. So just a different Facebook Live, just to show you some different colouring techniques. So that's it from me. If anyone would like any information about joining my lovely team, or if anyone would like any more information about the bundle, please let me know. And I shall all see you next Sunday. Have a fabulous week. I hope the weather continues. I know some people are like, it's too hot, but I am loving it. Too hot to be working, that's the problem, isn't it? Too hot to be doing anything. Right, you are very welcome, Kathleen, no problems. Right, the cat's going to try and take the door down, I think. She's like, let me in. So I'll go and relieve the cat, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.